Good morning. Today is November 23rd, 2013. I'm speaking with Mr. Mansur Ahmed. This interview is being conducted in New York. Mr. Ahmed, where is your desh?
Pakistan and United States now.
No, before that?
Before that was migrated from New Delhi, India.
New Delhi, India?
Yes.
Do you know what area in New Delhi?
Paharganj.
Paharganj, acha. And so do you remember how was the house like? Was it a village or was it a within part of the city?
Okay. My father and grandfather belongs to a village which is about 40 miles from capital New Delhi.
What's the name of the village?
And the village name was Bigapur.
Bigapur.
Very close to Chola Junction.
Chola Junction.
And my grandfather and father had some lands, so they used to cultivate things on it.
Okay.
But meantime, my father joined a Northwestern Railway, and he was a track engineer.
Okay.
And he was assigned in his late part of the employment to Railway Board, which was in New Delhi.
Okay. So
being the capital.
Okay. So how was the house like? You remember?
House was, yes, I do remember, because
it was a small house, big house, mud house, brick house.
No, it was a. We used to live on second floor.
Okay.
My grandfather owned that building.
Okay.
And in the bottom floor there was shops.
Okay.
And we used to live up on the upstairs. Meantime,
how many people used to live there?
Me, my mother, my grandmother, my elder sister.
Okay.
And my father most of the time used to be on the tours.
Okay.
Because Northwestern Railway was a big
rail,
I believe, system. So he mostly, but when he used to come, he used to live with us.
Okay. No. So and how many generations or how many years they lived in that?
That it was not like. Originally, we owned a house in Raisina.
Raisina.
Which
also
was
in Delhi.
Yeah, Delhi. I was born there.
Okay.
And my grandfather was from the Indian politics.
Okay.
Little bit. But then he was a subcontractor also.
Okay.
He used to do his cultivation, not with on his hand, but he used to have help.
Yeah.
Meantime, his quite some work was as a subcontractor to a bigger contractor.
Now, what was the name of your grandfather and grandmother?
My grandfather's name was Mansur Ali.
Okay.
And my grandfather's name was Nur Jahan.
And what about your parents' name?
My mother's name was Sahir Fatma.
Sahir Fatma.
My father's name was Mansur Ahmed.
Mansur Ahmed. And your mother used to be a housewife, or your mother used to also work outside the house?
No, at that time, women folks never used to work.
Okay. So, and what about your village? You mentioned
Bigapur. I have quite some good memories of that.
Tell us about that.
Like early part of my education, my father, grandfather, and father also, we put me to a teacher, which you call Pandit Maharaj.
Okay.
And he used to teach us in
at home?
Open. No, in a village.
Okay.
You can call a place to
under a tree or
under a tree.
Okay.
Exactly. Under a tree. There was no building.
Very
no
common.
nothing.
Yes. So.
And I remember that the mathematics was he taught us. Very nice.
What was his? Do you remember his name?
I forgot his name.
But any Pandit?
Yeah,
Used to call Pandit ji.
Pandit Maharaj we used to call.
Pandit Maharaj.
Okay.
For how many years you studied under him?
Look, my birth, 1937 I was born. And by the time when the partition, we came actually in 1946 to Lahore.
Okay.
And that was the time, not everybody was leaving or coming and things like that. But since my father was railway, he opted for the railway headquarters, which was in Lahore.
Okay. Now, how many generations your family lived in Bigapur?
I don't know. I was too young.
But many generations?
Probably.
Do you have any relations still there?
Unfortunate part is my grandfather was not for the partition since he was with the Congress, and he was very much against us to come. My father said, "I'm not migrating. I'm just going because my job has been, they transferred me and we'll come back."
Okay.
Without realizing that these borders will be, one day, will be reality and you cannot.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, actually, when, I'll tell you later in the part of my story, but then the time when I left, I believe I was in a school, I forgot the name of the school, it was a Catholic school.
In Delhi?
In Delhi. And I was in second class,
Okay.
class 2.
Okay.
And also again I have very good memories on that too.
Did you used to have Bigapur or Paharganj? Was it mostly a Muslim area or Muslim Hindu mixed area?
It was never like that.
Okay.
It was mixed. Let me talk about the village.
Please.
The village we were in minority. We were about 10, 12 household altogether. But the rest was the Jats, basically.
Your family was not Jat though?
No, look, I don't know.
Okay.
But what I believe is now that somebody, maybe few generations back, must have changed his religion, okay, because all of them never came from the northern part of the thing. Some definitely came from there during the invaders and things like that. But so we were like 10, 12, but we were educated, and like for example, the Nambardar was a Muslim. The Chowkidar was a Muslim, which I remember like today. And the other people were Muslim. And another thing was that they used to go shikar of deers and which was in abundance.
So
at that time. And there was another village close. My uncle, who was a very good shikari, he had a friend who was a big zamindar and things like that. They were they raised together, they left school together and things like that. And then they used to shikar. And surprisingly, this gentleman, Hindu, he used to eat mas, we used to call that time. Okay. And I remember that whenever we cook the meat, the other people living in the village, Hindus, Jat, they used to come and used to call my mother, Chori, can we have some mas? Don't tell anybody. So anyway, that's not majority, but
many.
But many. But we were like there was no conflict.
No
we
hostility.
were like one family.
Okay.
On each day, all the non-Muslim, they used to bring all kind of goodies, specifically the milk.
Milk.
They never used to make. We used to call chach.
Okay.
Okay, buttermilk. So they never used to make that. They used to bring to the Muslim, which was too much. So vice versa, the Muslim on Dasara, Diwali, and the Holi, they used to give milk to them.
Okay.
But one difference was that milk for the Muslim, okay, when the cows, and you have less cows, more buffaloes.
Okay.
And I remember that one day.
Muslims had more buffalo. You mean?
No, everybody.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Because,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, buffalo was
more popular there in that side.
Yeah, that time because probably.
Yeah.
And buffaloes, most of the people, the very, very poor could not afford, but the people who used to have it, they used to share milk with them.
Okay.
Okay. Now I remember that one time, any festival, the person used to work with my grandfather, and he said, okay, I'm going to milk the cattle myself now, because, so he never used to let Muslim do it.
Okay.
Just to purity of the,
okay,
according to their religion. But anyway, that's I have very good memories.
So they used to milk it and give it to you people, and
Yes.
you used to milk it and give it to them.
Vice versa, correct.
Right.
For us, there was no Zat Path and Shud Jat.
Yeah.
Okay, for
What
us.
about the other people?
Among them it was, but anyway, that was.
But they used to bring it to you too.
Oh yes,
But used to bring it to them too.
yes.
But even if this is a different Jat Path was problem, but that was
They
not a
used to
problem.
come and milk it.
Oh,
As
okay.
far as is concerned,
Okay.
we never bothered.
Oh, they came to milk your cows,
Yes.
your buffaloes.
Yes.
But okay, that was really very generous of you to do that. Now, tell me about little bit about how was the village. You remember any image of the village house? How was the house like?
I remember. Okay, house was a mud house basically. Okay, mud bricks.
Yeah, with tin or thatch roof.
And there was no tent that time.
Thatch.
Okay, so that was it, and it
Yeah.
was a big house. I believe 4 or 5 rooms, and there was no window, sort of a thing.
Okay.
Okay, but the window used to open in veranda,
Okay. Yeah.
not the outside.
Right.
But I think in my house, where I grown up, I have we used to have a silo,
Okay.
but silos were four or five. I don't remember now. But
Okay.
one of-
So they were very
So
wealthy.
they were silos for different
Crops.
like crops.
Yeah.
Okay, and also there was a you can call oven, but it used to be the cow dung or the
Clay oven, but basically it's clay oven.
clay
Yeah,
oven.
yeah, but that's
So that was that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
in our house, that time, since my father was a subcontractor, he used to come and go from Delhi. We had in our house, and later on maybe on other houses too, few of the houses. That time he had like WC,
Yeah.
okay, and a shower, and he had a shower with hot and cold.
Oh.
So what he did is that he took some kind of container, big container, drums, and he put it on the roof of the
Okay.
thing, okay. And from there, there was the piping he did, and the hot water was in a bigger drum, and they used to put that cow dung under it, and used to be so with the gravity we used to have.
Bring it down. Yeah. Right.
So that kind of thing.
Yeah. So your father and your family moved to Lahore, but your grandparents lived.
He never accepted the.
So did you the family got separated, or did they ever migrated to Pakistan?
No, my grandmother was very much attached to the daughter, and she came.
She came. Okay.
My grandfather, he told many times to my father that, what are you doing? These are not going to happen, and India will be one. Don't go there. But since he was with the Congress, and so he was, if I'm not mistaken, I remember in one meeting before I go back, join India, one meeting, my grandfather was, I think he was with Jamaica Al Hind,
Okay.
which were again against the division.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me to a Congress meeting, and I remember Bapu, I saw a very frail person, and Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Maybe Pandit Nehru was there, but my memory is not there.
Yeah, you're very young.
And Bapu put a hand on my, head,
On your
like blessed me,
blessed
sort
you?
of a thing. So anyway, and so that kind of thing was a closeness and all kind of thing.
So he stayed back, but
Stayed back because of that.
so were you able to communicate with him when after the border?
Well, my younger brother went to see him, but unfortunately, part of the my grandfather's elder brother and his siblings. News came to us that they poisoned the uncle.
So the Hindus murdered them?
No, his own Muslim.
Oh.
Okay, like nephews, and he died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
Because they wanted his lands.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Unfortunate part.
Okay.
I never went, unfortunately.
Any so you never went back to visit Delhi or
No.
or yeah. Okay. So so you don't know whether your ancestral property is still with your family or not?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay.
In fact, one time I looked the village of Bigapur on Google Earth. It's a bigger town now.
Yeah. Even your the area in Delhi that you lived, Paharganj, it's within the heart of the city now.
No. Village. I think Delhi has gone up to Rohtak or some kind.
Yeah, it has gone really far. Yes. Yeah. So, any of your, do you know any of your family members were victimized or were killed or during the partition time?
My uncle from my father's side, his cousin, he used to have a fruit shop in New Delhi somewhere. I remember we used to go, he used to come to us, that kind of thing. They were migrating, and they were all killed in Jalandhar.
Jalandhar. So, so it was after 47, I suppose after 47, sorry, after 15th August, I suppose, or before?
They were after.
After. So, none of the family members...
we didn't have anybody from my father's side.
Okay.
And we don't have now anybody from my mother's side.
Mother's side. But your mother's side also was from Delhi?
Well, they were from Rampur.
Rampur. That's in Uttar Pradesh?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Not very far from New Delhi, I don't think very far.
Okay. And so how did it... So none of their family survived, or they are still there, or they were all killed?
Oh, I have no idea. No
connection.
No connection.
Okay, so they all moved, but they stayed back. So tell us how, in Lahore, how did you survive? Well, your father had a job, but how was the...
We were living in a railway colony, since my father was a track engineer. And so that way we had a big sort of area. Anyway.
Yeah.
And
an income coming also.
And he was working, so that was hardly a problem. We used to have a helper at our home.
So there you had your parents and your brother and
my
sister.
father, mother, my grandmother, my younger brother, and my younger sister.
Okay.
And my elder brother also.
Okay, so that was a nuclear family.
Yes.
The grandmother was your father's mother?
No, from my maternal side.
Mother's side, from the Rampur side.
My father's...
Oh, you said they stayed back.
Yeah,
Father's family stayed
back.
Father
family, my father was the only one survived.
Okay.
No, my grandfather was there too.
Okay.
From my father's side. my father's family, all of them died. There was a plague in India.
That's it.
So they died in one day, everybody died.
After 47? No,
Before, much
oh,
before.
Oh,
I think.
oh,
There was a plague,
I see.
I don't know, in 1920s or
Oh,
what
I
time,
see.
I
I
have
see.
no idea.
Okay. Now, as you settle down in your new place, it is transition after all.
For us, it was nothing. We couldn't understand what is transition. I was very young. So.
Yeah. So, but were your family ever victimized in Pakistan, in Lahore, as a new immigrant?
No.
Okay.
We were not. Let me put it. I don't think we were immigrant in the sense that my father was transferred. He was given a house, so I have a job. So
yeah. No. So let me then ask. Do you think why, for example, in Pakistan is a Muslim majority country, there are very few non-Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Christians and Buddhists, Jains are there, but there are still a lot of Muslims are there in India. That means one case one is a majority, the other case is the other is a minority. That is, in India, Hindus are majority, but Muslims are minority. Proportionally, they are able to stay. Is there any? And have you ever thought why this has happened?
This was the mockery of British Raj.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the guy who was the last Governor General, Viceroy, Mountbatten was totally nincompoop person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could not have, look after his wife who was having an affair with Pandit Nehru. So it was the way they did it. They could have stopped the massacre on either side.
Mm-hmm.
They purposely did not do it.
Yeah.
That's my
okay
experience.
Your feeling, yeah.
My feeling.
Yeah. Now, I'm almost to the end. Do you know if, because of the partition, did anybody benefit? Hindus or Muslims, peasants or rich people, poor, and did anybody benefit, east or west?
As far I am concerned, my experience or my thinking or belief rather, unfortunate part is the poor. Let me put it this way: the partition of India made the wealthier to the down, very poor. The poor who took the properties of my migrants, whether they were Hindu or Muslim, vice versa. So the poor went up and the rich went down. Not all of them, but most of the cases. And since the partition, the way it was done, that was the bundle and a bigger problem, which British could have done nicely, okay, and they did it.
Yeah. Can I ask you, I'm almost to the end, is there anything that you like to say? I have not asked you.
Well, I would like to say the thing is that Bapu, God bless his soul, and Jinnah, they never wanted to divide the subcontinent. Definitely not. Unfortunate part is that's my belief, and I have read a lot of books about that. Pandit Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel, they were the people who wanted the division of India. So much so that before that, if you remember, just to protest, Bapu went to stop the massacre of Bengal, and he sat with
in Noakhali killing.
Noakhali, and he went to Calcutta, and he had a berth with the Chief Minister Sohrawardi. Okay, so it was, as I said, there are dirty politics in it. Okay, nobody listened to Bapu because he was frail and he was going elderly and all that. And unfortunate part is, then he was killed. by the own people, and vice versa. Jinnah was having a tuberculosis, so he couldn't survive. He died too. But mankind suffered a lot. Mankind suffered a lot. I tell you a little bit story of saving a life in our part of the world, which is when we transferred from New Delhi to Lahore. So we were living, next door was a Sikh family, and he used to come to my mother and things like that. So one day her husband went outside, never came back, and the riot has started in Lahore. So she came shaking and all kind of things. I remember my mother said, okay, some Kaur was her name. He said, don't worry. She took out his kada, the symbol of their religion and all, and left it over there. And she had, I remember a lot of gold, and said, you take it. She said, nothing doing. Okay, go over there in the kitchen, take the dry ration and make your own food. She said, nothing doing, you're saving my life. Whatever you ate. So we remember about few months. We did not cook any meat because of my mother. And then some of the hooligans came and we're going to kill her. She said, get lost from here. She is my friend, nobody can do anything. So when there was a permit system came, then she went back to Mamlasa.
She went back, she went to India.
She went to India.
Yes. All
so
right.
vice versa, Hindus also saved many Muslims.
All right, thank you very much.